Hey, I'm Scott Hall, psychic medium, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about spirit guides. So I want to tell you my story about meeting my spirit guides. It wasn't an easy process. I was always trying to, I've shared before about lucid dreaming. I was always tried in lucid dreams to meet with who my spirit guide was. I thought of it as one spirit guide. And it just didn't happen. I just, time and time again, I couldn't make it happen. And meanwhile, say about at least 6 years ago, maybe more, I realized that I consider it God to be speaking to me through songs. So I would be sitting there, and all of a sudden a song would pop in my head, and it wasn't even a song that I'd heard recently on the radio. And I would think, hello, Janet. I would think, wow, that is weird, because I haven't heard that song, so it can't be just something that's just coming up from memory, but it matches the question I had or the thing I've been thinking about. And this happened with such regularity that I finally thought, this is God speaking to me. And that was my way of looking at it. Later on, I found out everything is God, right? Or everything is the universe, whatever your beliefs are. And I'm not a religious person, so when I say God, I just, you can say the universe is about the same way I look at it. So I was thinking it was just something larger coming to me and giving me information. And then I met my partner Janet there. Hello, Janet. And she gave me a little reading, and I think was it in a coffee shop, honey? I think it was. It was in our first dating place, which was the coffee place in Inman Park, and in Atlanta. And she said, "Oh, you've got this guide, and his name is Horatio." And I was like, "Horatio? What the heck?" And she said, "Yeah, he's the one that gives you songs all the time." And I was like, oh, okay. So finally I could put a name to him, and he's kind of Greek looking, as the name would suggest. And apparently we've been, from Janet's information, we've been in a physical life together, in a past life. I like to call it just another life, but we were together. Hi, Stephanie. And I was on the phone before we even met in person, Janet said. Okay, all right, so I was wrong. It was on the phone. But I know we talked about it in the coffee shop at length. So anyway, then I found out who he was, and I could feel him, my thing to do with him is, I really don't talk to Horatio that much. He just gives me these hugs, these guy hugs that are just awesome, and they're really grounding. So when I need grounding, I'll ask Horatio to hug me, and I'll just imagine hugging him, and I just feel the energy of that. So that was really cool. So finally, wow, I have a spirit guide. That's really cool, and I know he's been communicating with me consistently for many years. And then she introduced me to another one, and her name is Lauren, spelled Lauryn. And it's kind of weird talking about this, because I talk about this to people I see in person, but not in public like this. It's kind of like airing. I don't know, it's pretty personal, guides are a personal thing. And but the cool thing about Lauren just talks, and I see her as this little thing about this tall, and she sits on my knee, especially when I'm giving. But the funny thing is, so she talks a lot, but she really loves Janet, and she was the one that said this relationship's really, really good for you. And when we first started dating, and when I give Janet a reading, Lauren and her just jive so much that Lauren will just sit on my knee. I'll just see her in my mind's eye sitting on my knee, just telling me what to tell Janet. It's not even like, it's like I'm not even trying. It's just this person is just sitting there telling me what to say about Janet, and it works every time. It's awesome. So yeah, Janet loves Lauren. The feeling's mutual. So and then when Janet gives me readings, Lauren is giving her information about me. So that's really cool. And if you all want to ask a question about spirit guides, go ahead. I see Stephanie's there. So you ask a question or tell me about what you've experienced with your spirit guides. Sometimes I think, so now in retrospect, I haven't really thought about this recently. I think I was almost trying too hard. Spirit guides are more like a whisper in your ear that's always there. but we think of it as we want to see something solid, we want to have proof, we want a scientist to be able to say that's your spirit guide or whatever. But sometimes it's not that way. The spirit guides speak to us in our voice. So maybe some people hear it in a different kind of voice, but usually it's your own voice. It's just saying things that you didn't think of. So you can kind of think of it that way. So take the pressure off yourself if you want to meet your spirit guides, and just think, okay, spirit guides, if you're out there, give me some information that I didn't know, or something interesting. Give me something that I know I didn't logically make up. Once I've opened this and said I want to hear from a spirit guide, give me something so I know I didn't logically think that through and make that stuff up. So that's something you can do. Spirit guides come in all different forms. Some of the coolest ones I've seen, these forest nymphs. Oh, hold on. Stephanie says, I feel like I have memories of being more connected to my guides when I was a child. Do you experience the same? I don't remember much about spirit guides as a child, but that makes sense. I know we are way more connected when we're children, and then we kind of numb that connection. And Janet's saying, yes, it can be subtle, so we're so used to them that we may not realize they are separate from us. Yeah, so I just posted recently about like the mind, is our intelligence not a group effort? And I do believe it is, and the spirit guides are part of that group effort of giving us information, thus consisting of our intelligence, what we call intelligence. So forest nymphs have come up with a couple of different clients, which are really cool. I just see it's like little childlike or small man-like people. The ones I saw were men or male, and they're just like covered in vines or very green, and it's just very very obvious that they are of the woods and from the woods. I've seen those, and this is coming from a guy who did not believe in fairies or none of that stuff. Angels, I didn't believe in any of that stuff, but until I saw it when I gave people readings. I'm talking about in my mind's eye. Hi Irene, thank you for watching. And another one is, I saw one person had like a cartoon figure for a guide. I don't know the reason why, but it was so interesting. It was a female cartoon, like kind of like a Disney character cartoon. Why not? I mean, it's just, whatever they want to manifest as, they can manifest as. I don't know why, but it's so cool. Janet says she's pretty convinced that imaginary friends are often spirit guides. Yeah, and because the thing of, if you were just completely wide open and thought, I'm going to now imagine someone that's going to help me, who would you imagine? And if you imagine something very specific, then you have to think, what are the odds that I came up with that completely on my own? Because that's from the creative side of the mind. So what gave you that idea to create that spirit guide in your head? If you're going to imagine what kind of spirit guide you have in your head, have in your head that you have access to. So the imagination and psychic ability, where we intuitively feel into things or see things or sense things, is right in the same zone as imagination. There's no difference. And so we say, I make that up. Also ask yourself, okay, maybe you made that up. Why did you make that up? So try to give imagination a little more credit too. So when we give readings, I just found out that really I felt like I was going to the imagination place every time, but then I would get confirmation from the other person, from the client. No, that's what I've experienced. And I'm like, okay, well then it can't be imagination. So just think of that. Imagination is perhaps the playground, and not perhaps, it is to me. It's the playground of intuitive thought. What other stuff do we have? Okay, so loved ones. People ask about spirit guides being loved ones, and my take on this is that almost like don't sell yourself short and think that your grandmother who passed is your spirit guide, because you have spirit guides that have been with you from birth. So you have spirit guides anyway. I like to think of loved ones, if they come, then they've told me before, they're like, I'm now going to help this person. And it is in a guide capacity, and definitely in a similar capacity to a spirit guide, but you've had a relationship with them before in the physical. So why don't you just consider that different? Just consider that, this is what I look at it, is that it's a loved one who's helping you. You can say, oh, my grandmother's not my spirit guide. Yeah, it's like, semantics, but really you have your spirit guides. Some of them have been with you since birth. Also, like another cool thing, beside, on an aside, spirit guides can also pop up for certain reasons if you're working on certain things. So if you decide all of a sudden you want to go to law school and you want a spirit guide to help you with that, you can ask for a spirit guide that will help you study law. So why not? Why couldn't you? The universe will provide. So we see spirit guides come in for particular reasons, and go ahead and ask for that. So if you haven't seen your spirit guide yet, and you're like, I want a spirit guide, I want to be able to see my spirit guide. Why don't you just think, I want a new spirit guide, and I want a spirit guide to help me with this thing that I'm working on now. Any other questions? Let me think if I've got anything else to add. I do want to tell about Janet and I have a workshop together called, I'm going to read it over here because it's got a long title, My Energy, My Space, aligning your energy with the energy of your home to create greater harmony. And I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but check it out on Janet's website called janetraftis.com. Her last name is Raftis. And then also I give psychic readings, and I use your spirit guides usually, or I would say they use me. They use me as a conduit to talk to you directly. And I do phone readings and in-person readings. The in-person are here at the Center for Love and Light in Atlanta, Georgia. And I do phone readings as well. So you can check on my Facebook page. You can book right from there, or go to scotthallpsychic.com. Okay, I don't see any more questions. This was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.